All right, folks, first time. The introduction of my children's python. This snake was so agitated at the pet store. I guess it had just recently been shipped. It went through shipping. It went through the people handling him at the Serpentarium pet store in Richardson, Texas. That's where I got him. He was not happy, or he or she. It's not sexed yet because they didn't want to stress the animal out any further, probing or doing that procedure to see if it's a male or a female. I don't understand why it wasn't sent signifying male or female, but maybe I didn't get the whole story. One guy didn't have all the information, but I had to come up with a name. But here it is, pretty cool. I've wanted one of these for about 5 years. After right when the pandemic started and we were all sitting at home and had more time on our hands, I was like, man, I used to love reptiles, from a little small child all the way up to my teenage years. And then again into probably my late 20s, I got back in and bought a Burmese python. And I had some other reptiles too as well, and caught some wild reptiles, and just enjoy reptiles in general. But the resurgence was about 2000, mid-year 2000, when I really wanted to get back into reptiles and started watching Clint's reptile channel, and maybe a few other ones. And I got really back into wanting to collect just a few, not a lot. I have way more reptiles than what I have right now, well, than what I would have told myself. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now this is the 8th reptile that I have, and I promise, I want to promise I'm not going to get any more. But I'm going to handle this snake a lot more and get it to calm down. At the pet store, he was biting everything. He was biting at the air. He was biting the guy that was picking him up, trying to show him to me. Actually, when I said I wanted to purchase the snake, he had to pick him up again, and it bit him. And then I put my hands in there, and it bit me once or twice. And so it just needs to really calm down. And so that's what I've been doing the last 4 days. I just left him alone. I built him up a little terrarium with hides and substrate, proper snake substrate that holds humidity. He was shedding, and he just shed today. So he was shipped shedding, and he was being picked up and manipulated, and so he was extra PO'd because he was shedding. He looked almost a gray color, and I got his skin here in the bathroom, and I'll show that to you, but he just shed today. All right, here's the snake shed. He shed in 2 pieces, just after his upper and lower jaw, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches down from his head. It kind of ripped off, and then the rest of his skin came off in one piece. So there you go. So maybe that had a lot to do. So he's calming down. He kind of acted like he wanted to, real jumpy and wanted to strike at me, but he hasn't yet today. But actually it's this evening. But he's actually being really good, and I'm going to tame this snake down. They're supposed to be awesome pets. A children's python. I don't know how old he is. I would maybe estimate he's not a year old yet, so maybe he's between 6 months and 8 months, 8-month-year old, because they don't get very big. They get like 3.5 to 4 feet, and this is a python. If you're not aware, there's tons of videos. I'm not trying to recreate YouTube videos and show people things they haven't probably already seen before. But this snake is a dwarf, a smaller, and it may be the world's smallest python. I didn't look that up on Google yet, but it's one of the smaller or the smallest python. So they have the little pits up there just like a python. It looks just like a full-size python, but in a micro size. So very easy to feed and very easy to cage and take care of. And these live, honestly, 20 to 30 years, and probably more towards the 25 to 30 years if they're taken care of. So I will be in my 80s when this snake is an old snake. And I don't even know what I'm going to be like, if I'm going to even be around when I'm 80. The way things are going with people dying as quickly as they are, and so many of my friends. See, he got me. I want to think that I've lived to 80 or 90-year old, but I'm not going to tell you that I am. Well, see, he's really PO'd. I was just going to show you, and my voice is probably scaring him. But while he's there, I'm just going to come around and show my hand. He got me right there with this one little small pinprick. Not that bad. That's what's good about smaller snakes, and is that when they bite you, it doesn't hurt, and it doesn't do any real damage. He's not very long. I would probably say he's about a foot and 1 or 2 inches long, but he's ready to feed. You're supposed to feed these every week, once a week. When they're in their first year to second year, feed them once a week, then maybe every 2 weeks when they're 3 or 4 years old, and then maybe every 3 weeks when they're 10 years old, you know, and they're older. So you don't feed them as much when they're older. Yeah, he's not real happy, and I don't want him to fall off the counter. Come here, guy. Sorry, I jump when things strike at me like that. I'm not a big fan of snake lunges. Okay, well, I got him a mouse, so let's see if he'll eat a mouse. We're in my bathroom because this is the place that has the best light, but I haven't fed a mouse this small to an animal in, it seems like, 10, 15 years. This is a small little mouse. So let me get my tongs and feed him with the tongs. He's ready to go. Oh, don't fall down. Hey, buddy. He's teetering on the edge. Ah, damn it. But we're going to try to tame him down. I don't really like to have jumpy snakes, but we're going to tame him down. Well, that's a good sign. I'll just say I need to put the camera away and start handling him, and or him or her, and tame him down, and let him you know, get used to my hands, and how I've done my other 4 boas. This is my really my first python, besides when I growing up, when I had a Burmese python, couple Burmese pythons. So we're going to tame this guy down, and he went right after eating that. So yeah, I got about the right size. He could eat a little bit bigger. I did get one that these are just the local pet supply store that were frozen and sent individual bags, and they're like $3.99, $2.99. I just didn't have time, and being near the distributor where I buy bulk my rats and my rodents, mice. He's gonna fall off. He's got a good grip on me. Kind of want to get out of the way. Went out of the room, and of course he fell onto the floor. So I'm going to pick him up and put him back in his cage. So I'm sure I'm going to get bit. Hopefully he didn't get regurgitate his little rodent that he ate. Let's pick him up gently. Tagged me, of course. Woo! Angry. Let's put him back in his cage. Camera's still mounted to a stand. So I fit that through the doors. Let's put him back. Put him back in his terrarium. He's going to need a lot of work. He's not a happy camper. My other 4 boas that I got are nothing like this guy. Guy or gal. He got me on the finger right there. A little bit of prick of the blood. I bleed really easy. So he got me right there and he got me right there. But that's a video. I'm not going to make too many videos with him while he's still so new and stressing him out. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.